achieved.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Studio Day Heffrey, where today we're going to talk about why Zeke could not get going against the Detroit Lions. If you were listening to G-Bag Nation yesterday, you heard the segment here on the website and on the YouTube page. I'm going to show you some of the things that I was talking about. Over time, I will learn the legalities of putting video on here and try to show you some of the all-22, but for now, I'm just going to show you a couple of still shots as I take you through what exactly happened in the Cowboys running game. And I want to start off, we did this play-by-play on G-Bag Nation, 2 to 7 on 105.3 The Fan. And I want to do the same thing here, but I'll do it quickly, just in case you already heard the segment. But Zeke run number 1. It's 2nd and 10. They got 7 blockers against a 6-man box. That is glorious. You got to love that, right? Well, one of the linebackers for the Lions ran what appears to be a run stunt, as they're going to run right at him with Zeke. And instead of actually trying to stop the run, he just runs directly at Travis Frederick instead of the hole, which is coming about above the left guard. And he runs into Travis Frederick, and Xavier Su'a-Filo follows him because his job is double team the guy in front of me and then peel up to this linebacker. That's my job, so I got to go get him. So when that linebacker just runs way out of there, Su'a-Filo goes with him. Other linebacker slides behind, where now, obviously, nobody can block him because the guy who would block him has left. I think that's a blown assignment by Su'a-Filo, but anyway, 2-yard run, Zeke fumbles, you lose it. So that's run number 1. Second run, they run out 3 tight ends. 3 tight ends. So you draw an 8-man box. Su'a-Filo can't make his reach block, so the defensive lineman's chasing Zeke. He's right on his heels. He can't get outside because Dalton Schultz, his guy, is controlling him and waiting outside. Tyron's guy is Trey Flowers, who's a good player. He makes the tackle when Zeke has to cut up because there's nowhere else to go. So a couple of the things that are in common here. Your backup left guard struggled in the run game. I could go to play 3 and play 4, and you're going to see the same thing. Xavier Su'a-Filo really struggled in the run game. He was pretty good in pass protection, but in the run game, he struggled. When they invited extra guys to the box with a bunch of tight ends, they struggled. Now, let me see if I can pull this off. I think I can. I'm going to try really hard to pull up a screenshot here to show you. I'm clicking around on my computer, and I'm going to go click a button, and I'm going to click this button, and I'm going to click this button. Hold on, no, there was a button that I missed. But I want to show you when they got down to the goal line, it's 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. And so what are the Cowboys going to do on 1st and goal from the 9-yard line? I don't know if you'll be surprised by this. You probably shouldn't be surprised by this. But what the Cowboys are going to do is they are going to do this. This is what the Cowboys are going to do. They are going to, let me move this down to the corner for you. They're going to do that. They're going to line up with 3 tight ends on the left. They are going to invite every Detroit Lion in the world into this box. And do you know what these tight ends are going to do? All 3 of these tight ends, they are going to block down, and they are going to leave the linebacker that is over Tyron Smith, the safety who's deep and outside, and that end of line of scrimmage guy right there. All 3 of them are going to be unblocked, and Zeke is going to gain 1 yard. So what happened there? Well, the Cowboys invited them to bring everybody in the world into the box, and they got what they asked for, which is a 1-yard gain. So when the Cowboys were able to have success, what was it that they did? There was something that you had in common on the plays where the Cowboys were able to have success. I'm going to pull up a different picture for you real quick. And what you're going to find is this play that I'm going to show you right here. Let's make it a little bigger. Let's make it a little bigger, and let's put it right in front of my face. Right there. This, guess what? The Cowboys could run, because what you're looking at here is when the Cowboys go 11 personnel, that's 1 running back, that's 1 tight end, they got a 6-man box. So they were able to have a 6-on-6 blocking situation. And do you want to know what happened on this play? The Cowboys gained 7 yards. So the first time that the Cowboys faced that sort of look, they gained 6 yards. Later, they gained 7 yards. Then they gained 7 yards again. If they gave themselves a chance, and they could give themselves a chance to run the football, it was by getting into 11 personnel, getting into that 11 personnel. The Detroit Lions gave them consistently that look. They got a 6-man box if they were just willing to go the 11 personnel, which the Cowboys have been willing to do. The Cowboys run it about 67% of snaps, so 2/3 of the time, that is what they're running. What got them into trouble was Trey Flowers gave Tyron Smith some trouble throughout the course of the game. Xavier Su'a-Filo really struggled to run block. And they put themselves in some of those situations where they brought in the fullback, they brought in the extra tight ends, they upped the numbers in the run game, and suddenly they couldn't execute all the blocks. You need so many more things to go right. So the numbers are going to say, and the numbers do say, that the Lions stacked the box to stop Zeke. But when you lined up like that, when you lined up with just one tight end and one running back, and you spread out your 3 receivers, the Detroit Lions didn't stack the box, and the Cowboys were able to have success running the ball despite the fact that Tyron wasn't perfect against Trey Flowers, and despite the fact that Snacks Harrison was able to control Zach Martin on the play, and despite the fact that Xavier Su'a-Filo had some struggles in the run game. You could run it as long as you were running it in the way that you should. And that's the way that the Cowboys need to run the ball. Get in 11 personnel, 1 tight end, 1 running back. It's what you normally run anyway. Don't bring receivers down to invite DBs into the box. Don't bring extra tight ends down into the box to bring extra linebackers onto the field and into the box. And here comes a safety, because now you need 7 or 8 things to go perfectly instead of 6 things to go pretty well, and Zeke will find a seam. So that's what happened to the Cowboys against the Lions in terms of running the ball. It doesn't have to happen that way going forward. The Patriots have a good defense, but the Cowboys could have success. All they got to do is make sure that they determine what the defense looks like, and you're able to do that in the NFL. I just showed you how you do that in the NFL. You line up a certain way, they're going to answer a certain way. And if they don't line up like that when you run up in 11 personnel, pew, 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 then your MVP candidate quarterback throws it all over the field. So that's what happened to the Cowboys in the run game against the Lions. Thanks for checking it out. In the comment section, leave me your favorite nose tackle of all time. Could be from any team. I want your favorite 320-pound plus player in the history of the NFL. I guess they used to be lighter. So any nose tackle will do. Leave that in the comments. Keep it locked into 105.3 The Fan every day, and I'll talk to you guys on the radio.